I'll end with this because we didn't really talk about it today. There was a lot of people, even 24 hours ago, that thought that Julian Assange, Daniel Snowden, and Ross Ulbricht would be free men today. If you thought that, I'm not going to ridicule you because I know people are desperate for good news.
Hope.
And I won't make fun of people for being hopeful because being hopeful is better than just saying the sky is falling all the time.
Yeah.
But I was very confident that that was not going to happen.
Yeah.
I wish I were wrong on this one, but that was never, 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 never going to happen.
Yeah.
And it didn't. I do feel pretty confident in saying that while I didn't think it was going to happen, I'll admit to you, I was up late last night waiting for that list of pardons to drop. More because I thought this is their last best chance. Mm-hmm. I thought their chance was basically near 0%, but that chance was still greater than whatever percent chance they'd have under Biden, Harris, Romney, Cheney, McCain. You know, they have a much higher percentage of getting a bullet in their head under those people. Yes. So I wish it had happened. It didn't. I'm not surprised. This is the last thing I'll say about Trump. This is the end of all things Trump on this program. I don't know what they threatened or didn't threaten him with. I don't know if he ever had any realistic thoughts about issuing pardons for any one of those individuals or others like them. I don't want to, if there's some random person out there saying, well, what about so-and-so? Well, there's a lot of injustice in this world. So because I don't mention your particular person doesn't mean they don't deserve it all the same. But although I would say Trump probably, it's way more likely Trump doesn't even know who that is than had a realistic conversation. Yeah. But if there is any chance that he thought that he knows those men and seriously considered pardons for them, if there's any chance he did, and if there's any chance that there are people, the deep state, the establishment, whatever you want to call them, that threatened Trump and said, oh, no, you better not. If you do, we're going to get you. We're gonna convict you in the Senate. We're going to do whatever. We're going to go after your family. All I can say is that at the end of the day, he proved to be a coward. Mm-hmm. He proved to be weak and ineffectual. And despite all of it, despite the impeachments, despite the lack of legislative victories, as we discussed, despite his legacy being T-minus hours away from being completely unwritten from the history books, literally as we speak, despite all of that, he could have pardoned Assange, Snowden, and Ross Ulbricht, and he'd be riding out of there a national hero. There would be our people, our type, his own people, the MAGA people, and our people. And I had said this on the program. If he does it, we're going to have Trump Day. Right. I'm going to wear the red hat. This is going to be Trump. We're going to have a MAGA week. Yeah. I'm dead serious. And his time to do that, as of this recording, is now 3 hours up. Right. And it didn't happen.
I think it's just more evidence for those folks who have continued to put their faith in political leaders that they don't care about you. You know, at best, he's a coward. At worst, he's a monster. So just don't put your faith in them.
Well, the cynic in me would say that I'm very confident in my prediction because whether it's troop withdrawals, swamp draining, locking her up, building walls, pardoning Assange's, and everything in between, he had 4 years to do that. He didn't have the night of January 19th to do that. He had 4 years to do that. He never did it then. Ergo, there was really not a lot of reason to believe it was going to happen at 1 o'clock this morning. Sure enough, it didn't. By the way, as a parting aside before I hit this little button here, he did issue a lot of pardons. There were a handful of nonviolent drug offenders on it. Look, good for them. Yeah. Most of them were white-collar criminals and corrupt politicians. Right. I'm just going to let it ride.
There
you are.